John Bush here with the SovereignBTC podcast and the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates, reporting from the Ross Ulbricht Silk Road trial in downtown New York City, 500 Pearl Street. We're going to be here all week covering the trial and bringing you regular updates. You can find them at thelibertybeats.com. We're going to be doing audio interviews, video interviews, all sorts of good stuff. Unfortunately, we were led to believe that we would be able to bring cell phones into the trial if we have press credentials, which we do have, official, legit credentials from the Liberty Beat, but we were told otherwise today by the U.S. Marshals. They were a little bit nasty. So we were going to be giving you live blog updates as the trial went on, but now we're just going to have to knock out some quick articles whenever we have breaks and send you some videos. So we'll be trying to stay on top of that as much as we can. Today I got a special preview of the trial for you. It's an audio piece that I put together. In the piece we hear from Roger Ver, also known as Bitcoin Jesus, Julia Turiansky, a Bitcoin activist with Brave the World, Derek Bros of the Liberty Beats. We hear from Derek J. Freeman of Peace News Now, and James Babb, who's doing jury nullification outreach here during the trial. So the piece is a preview of what to expect, what to come, some of the themes and elements that are there in the trial. So I want to play that for you. But first I want to thank some sponsors real quick. Green Revolution Cooling, grcooling.com/Bitcoin is their website. They are our premier sponsor. They do liquid submersion for Bitcoin miners, so check out this exciting technology. We'll be interviewing them pretty soon here on a podcast and visiting their facility in Austin, Texas. Again, their website is grcooling.com/Bitcoin. I also want to thank WatchMyBit.com. Check them out at beta.watchmybit.com. We've partnered with them once again, and this time around I'm going to be doing daily video updates from the trial, interviewing some of the activists that are present, and I'm going to be uploading these videos to beta.watchmybit.com. WatchMyBit is a video service that uses Bitcoin micropayments in order to compensate people for putting up videos and to create a viewing experience for users that has no ads. So we're going to give it a test run, and we're going to document it here. I'm going to be uploading exclusive videos from the trial at beta.watchmybit.com. Now, you'll have the ability to send Bitcoin to watch these videos, and the Bitcoin, everything except for the small fee which WatchMyBit.com takes, which I think is now 5%. They recently lowered it from around 25% to 5%. All of the proceeds, besides that 5%, will go to the Free Ross campaign to support Ross's legal defense fund and support his family and support him in this effort. So I want to thank WatchMyBit. Check them out at beta.watchmybit.com, and I strongly encourage you to check this out. If you're a content creator, consider giving it a shot, and if you're a content viewer, watch our videos, please, so we can help support Ross and help support this exciting new medium for video, watchmybit.com. That's beta.watchmybit.com. They'll soon be out of beta mode. Okay, again, this is John Bush reporting from New York City. It's really freaking cold, so I'm going to go take refuge back in the heat, and I hope you enjoy this audio piece that I put together for your educational and listening needs. Peace, freedom, Bitcoin, free Ross. The trial for Ross Ulbricht, the man accused of organizing the online black marketplace known as Silk Road, begins tomorrow in New York City. Ulbricht has been indicted on a laundry list of federal charges, including narcotics conspiracy, money laundering conspiracy, conspiracy to commit computer hacking, and engaging in a continuing criminal enterprise, a charge generally reserved for mafia dons and drug lords. Prosecutors are hoping to convince jurors and those following the case that Ulbricht is a violent criminal who should spend the rest of his life in prison. Activists and supporters of Ulbricht will be sharing a different narrative, an optimistic tale of how decentralized and anonymizing technologies such as Bitcoin and Tor will change the world for good. A story which casts the federal government as the villain and Ulbricht as the victim. While it remains to be seen which version will end up in the history books, one thing is for certain. There's more at stake in this trial than the freedom of one man. Dread Pirate Roberts, or DPR, the alias used by the administrator of the Silk Road, has made it clear that his motivation with the marketplace was to help create a shift in the power structure of the world. In the only full-length interview ever conducted by DPR, the Silk Road mastermind stated, "It's really part of a larger transformation driven by peer-to-peer technology and the internet as a whole. The people now control the flow and distribution on information and the flow of money. I don't think anyone can comprehend the magnitude of the revolution we are in. It is this shift in power that has caused Silk Road to fall under the watchful eye of the state. Dread Pirate Roberts isn't the only one who comprehends the magnitude of what Silk Road represents. Many in public office and law enforcement recognize that if people can exchange goods and services anonymously with anyone in the world, the control those in power enjoy over their subjects is greatly diminished. And when those in power feel their authority being threatened, they resort to what they do best: violence and coercion. In the case of the Silk Road Marketplace, Ross Ulbricht is their new victim. Whether or not Ross Ulbricht is the person behind the Silk Road remains to be seen. Regardless, both Ulbricht and DPR are held in high regard with many people across the globe.
It is clear that he helped to create a tool to allow peaceful people to engage in voluntary free trade with each other, and the world will never be the same because of it. For that alone, he is an inspiration and a hero.
That's Roger Ver sharing his admiration for DPR. Ver, a Bitcoin entrepreneur and self-described anarchist, has stated publicly that if Ross Ulbricht is in fact DPR, he's a hero. If he's not, he needs our help. Many familiar with Ver know that after buying into Bitcoin at $1 a coin and turning a considerable profit, he has savvily invested in Bitcoin startups and graciously donated to those in need. When Ulbricht's mother Lynn announced to the world that their family needed another $100,000 for Ross's legal defense, Ver tweeted that he would donate $10 for every time someone retweeted his message. Over 16,500 tweets later, and the Free Ross team had reached their goal. As pre-trial proceedings carried on, the defense team would come to find out that the scales of justice seemed to be tipping away from them. Unfortunately for the Ulbricht defense team, many of the pre-trial proceedings did not go in their favor.
I think we're going to need a miracle for justice to occur. I think Ross is already being treated incredibly unfairly.
That's Julia Turiansky, a cryptocurrency enthusiast and editor of the blog Brave the World. She believes a number of factors will make it difficult for Ross to get a fair trial.
The defense isn't allowed to bring up his moral character, bring up his philosophy and his political views and the kind of person he is, yet the prosecution is allowed to bring up these uncharged murder-for-hire accusations.
Much to the defense's dismay, the judge is allowing the prosecution to bring up allegations that Ulbricht was involved in a murder-for-hire conspiracy to take out his enemies. While a grand jury was not able to get an indictment on the murder-for-hire charges in this case, Ulbricht was indicted on said charges in the state of Maryland. This is a big setback for the defense, as Judge Catherine Forrest has included the allegations as uncharged crimes which require no proof whatsoever, yet they can still be discussed in front of the jury. Many of Ulbricht's charges stem from activities that he may not in fact have carried out. Through a legal doctrine known as transferred intent, prosecutors in the case are attempting to hold Ulbricht legally responsible for the actions of Silk Road users. Derek J. Freeman, host of Peace News Now, who will be present during the trial, believes that if Ulbricht is found guilty for crimes that other people commit on a website, it would have a major chilling effect on the internet.
It would be like putting the whole Craigslist office in jail because some people use the site for illegal purposes. If the feds can put you in jail for the way other people use your website, fewer people are going to have websites.
It's possible that the precedent set in this trial will dramatically influence future legislation and law enforcement activity regarding website owners and operators assuming legal responsibility for the actions of their users. This case will affect everybody that operates a public website, and the outcome should not be taken lightly. Liberty activists and Bitcoin enthusiasts from across the globe are flocking to New York City to attend the trial and support Ross. According to Derek J., there will be 3 teams participating.
There will be peaceful demonstrations outside the courthouse with people holding signs, giving speeches, and giving interviews to the media. There will be people handing out jury nullification information to people outside the courthouse. And there will be a team of media people reporting from inside the courthouse.
James Babb, a liberty activist from Philadelphia, is organizing the jury nullification outreach.
We have surrounded the courthouse at 500 Pearl Street with bold kiosk ads. These ads invite the public to know their rights and Google jury nullification. A complimentary pamphleting campaign began on January 5th at the same location. The goal is to distribute over 10,000 brochures to pedestrians near the courthouse.
Babb and his team have taken to the streets of New York City for their activism. During the trial, Roger Ver has once again shown his support to Ross by donating Bitcoin to help fund activists' travel and food costs so they can be in attendance to support Ross. Derek Brose with the Liberty Beat and BenSwan.com is one of those activists.
I plan to go to the trial and document everything, write articles, put out audio updates, put out as much content as possible about the situation to help do my job supporting Ross.
Ver believes the more people that attend the trial, the greater the impact there will be.
By having people show up in person to speak out against the immorality of the war on drugs, I hope that others will be inspired to do the same. And together, we can help put this horrible part of human history behind us.
Those close to the case are estimating it may go as long as 6 weeks. In that time, there will be plenty of opportunities to show your support for Ross Ulbricht, Dread Private Roberts, and the idea that we own ourselves. To learn how to get involved, contact Bitcoin Bell via Twitter, or get in touch with Julia Turiansky at BraveTheWorld.com. There's also a Facebook page you can search for called Individuals for Ross Ulbricht. Follow the live blog of the trial at TheLibertyBeat.com. When the trial comes to an end, whether Ross Ulbricht is convicted or not, the struggle between freedom and control will continue round and round in a series of repeating revolutions, just as it has for centuries. But this time around, thanks to innovative technologies like Bitcoin and Tor, I can't help but think things will be different. People seeking to control others will have a harder time doing so, and those looking to choose their own path will be able to do so unmolested. It may not be tomorrow, next year, or even in the next decade, but the cat is out of the bag and there's no putting it back. Governments around the world will try, as they always have, to put down those who challenge their position of power, but you can't stop an idea whose time has come, and our time has come. So join us in the struggle, and together we will be free.